So there is a study called Ornish Study. What these guys did was a 5-year randomized control trial where they took like 38 patients, okay, and then they divided into two groups. One is they're all heart disease patients who had heart disease already, and then they said that okay, after you had heart disease, we are going to divide into two groups. One group which is going to give you lifestyle interventions where it is whole foods, plant based, less than 10 percentage of fat intake, and active lifestyle. And the other group is we put them on a standard medication without any significant lifestyle changes. What they found 5 years after, when they did the repeat coronary angiogram, is the group that had a lifestyle changes, including whole foods, plant-based, decreased fat, had almost complete regression of the coronary artery disease.
Yeah.
While the other group actually had slight
Progression of disease. Yeah, progression of disease.
This was done in 1986 and this spanned 5 years into 1991. So we know that for the last 30 years, lifestyle can actually prevent the existence of heart disease.
So my first prescription will be always lifestyle modification. So I tell my patients also, before writing the medicine, I write lifestyle modification. I tell them that only this your cardiovascular disease is going to be prevented by medication only by 50% chance. The remaining your lifestyle, that is diet and walking. I mean, what do you do, physical activity.
Correct.
So 50% you have to give importance for lifestyle modification. That's what I say, and so that at least they will understand the importance of lifestyle modification.
Beautiful. So I always say in a prescription, diet should be on the top and then medication should be at the bottom. Sounds good. So in this study, what they did was they included whole foods. When I say whole foods, basically there is no refined grains. For example, white rice is a refined grain. But the whole wheat atta is an example of a whole food, where it is a whole grain.
Yes.
And if you compare the white rice and this whole wheat atta, let's say you make a roti. One roti can give you around 2.5 to 3 grams of fiber. But the rice, let's say 100 grams of cooked white rice, will be only 2 grams of fiber. So when you're stripping that, the outer bran area, that's where your fiber level goes off. So let's say you have 3 chapatis. So you will get around 9 grams of fiber, which almost meets a 25% of a daily requirement pretty easily. But at the same time, amount also matters because each chapati is around like 120, 130 calories. So blindly demeaning white rice and then promoting whole wheat atta is also bad. At the same time, just eating white rice alone without the additional fiber is also bad. So what I tell my patients is that, no, why don't you have a mix? Sometimes you can have whole wheat roti, chapati. The Ashirwad, the brand, they have something called a high protein atta, where they actually add protein through soy, oats, maize, millets, and all those things into the flour itself. So they can increase the protein requirement as well. What is your take on that? Do you recommend all this to your patients?
Yeah, so we say that always one question raised by many of patients in general or even the public also. They say that for their grandparents and parents they were consuming idli and rice for decades. And only a few people developed problem. And then now you are suddenly changing the diet pattern. So we'd say that time we didn't have so much of tests and longevity was not so long. So we didn't know that what they developed. But now longevity is increased in India. We say that earlier people, when they were consuming all this rice and idlis at a higher level, they were also doing simultaneously a lot of physical activity. Automobiles were not there. So for transport, walking, exercise, everything they were doing that. Now we are all enjoying a life of a modern urbanist society where for everything we have machines doing that. And then we travel in car and two-wheelers and somewhere like that. So our physical activity has come down. So that is one thing. So if you are consuming idli is not bad. So idli is food, then you should have equal physical activity. For example, if I had to give an example for a layman, a person who's doing masonry work or something, who's having heavy exertion work, who's sweating a lot, or a rickshawala person, he will be consuming a lot of rice and idlis, and then similarly he will be lean because he's also spending the calories.
Right.
So if you are increasing your rice intake, idli intake, proportionally increase your physical activity also.
No, I saw a reel which says idli is a junk food because they strip off all the whole grains, and then they say that it is a part of a refined grain because the better form of idli is a black urad dal idli, where you don't strip off the fiber content, but still it's a fermented food. It's really wonderful. I absolutely love it. But the key thing here is that people think maida is the villain. Yes, maida can be a part of a very healthy diet, very minimally. But refined grains are also a problem. So I always say that you need to meet minimum. There's a requirement of 38 grams of fiber per day for men, and 25 grams
Grams
of
of
fiber
fiber.
per day per women. And multiple studies have shown that it decreases the risk of heart
That
disease.
is
And the only way that you can include this while you try whole foods like whole wheat atta or even brown rice, quinoa, all these things can be a part of the diet. White rice is still good. Okay, I love white rice. But if we can cut down on the amount, that would be the best thing.